No, I disagree with you 100% on that one, because people are not pure, people are greedy, and the wealthy will keep it, okay? There is no redistribution. Having minimum wages allows redistribution of wealth. You have to regulate that.
That's theoretical.
No,
it really doesn't happen.
Yes, it does.
What it does, by having minimum wages, it drives more people out of work who
No,
normally
I disagree.
would want to work.
Absolutely not.
Well, look it up. Look it up. Do the research. You'll
All
find
right, you do the research too. We'll see.
The other issue you have is that in reality, there's a lot of people who won't go to work for less than X dollars per hour. That's a separate issue.
That is a separate issue. Back to the health care. I think there's a problem. You don't. I'm happy about the bill passing. I'm not quite sure what you feel about the health care reform bill, other than you just don't think health care didn't need to be fixed, is what you're saying.
I'm very suspicious of any bill that gets rammed through the Congress and then has to be corrected the next day with another bill, which was written almost simultaneously with the first one.
Bills are constantly getting corrected. There's nothing wrong with that. That's normal procedure. You're always, having amendments to different bills and stuff like that. So that's
I don't agree that the Democratic parties should have done what they did, stick together and not vote for this completely and vote for that completely. I don't agree with that, because if you're doing the right thing, whatever it is, you should be voting on ideas and not along party lines, if you're doing the right thing.
Right, and I think the Democrats did do that. They voted on the idea, the policy, and the Republicans, all of them were like, no, they were people out there disagreeing, because they were. You had that guy, I think it was Stupak, who
the Republicans, not a single one voted for it. So
right, that's party lines. That's party lines there.
I'm saying that I don't think that's the right way to run government. And that's why I proposed 10 changes. So
I do agree with that.
We need to serious change in government. And it isn't going to get done by simply voting in the same people again. You really have to make some changes in the state and the federal government.
Well,
those are the people that do the voting for laws. And the only body in this country that makes laws is the legislature.
I know.
Congress.
The Congress, well, the Senate and the House, yeah.
Yes,
right.
the Congress,
right.
Both of them. And
right.
the point is that the president doesn't make laws and the Supreme Court doesn't make laws. So we need to put the right people in Congress to do the right things.
Well, we try to do that, but we all have differences of opinions in this country.
We're all swayed by what we see on television, what we hear on radio, and all the lies. The president gets, a guy who's running for president gets up and says, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. He knows he can't do that. He doesn't write those laws. What he's saying is if the law comes to me, I'll sign it.
But they do.
But that's not what he said.
He doesn't, they may not write the law, the president may not write the law, but they have a heavy hand in making sure that Congress is working to create these laws. We know that they have meetings, they talk about this, they call, they say, I want to see this. The government, he may not actually write it, but he has a lot of influence on the law.
He said, I will do this, I will do that, I will do that. That's a lie.
They all say that.
Well, that's all a lie. Everybody's
lying. It's not
lying.
all a lie. He passed health care. Ha.
No, he
Obama
didn't pass
power.
health care.
That's right. He signed the bill.
The Congress.
He made it into law.
The House.
I know.
The Senate
they passed it.
Did the work
and he made it into law.
But if he didn't sign it, they could have still passed it. With
well,
a majority vote.
That gets very technical.
66%.
I don't know. Yeah,
vote.
I think
right.
it's 66. I'm not a percent. But point is that.
Well, the bottom line is,
so he did do it.
I don't believe there was a health care crisis. He made good on a campaign promise. There was no health care crisis.
Well,
it could have been corrected with some very good, tough financial management by getting rid of the fraud and the waste that's in the system.
You would
right
have,
now.
again, to get rid of the fraud, you have to regulate the insurance companies, because that's where all the fraud is coming from.
Not all of it.
Yes.
And not only would I have solved that problem, by getting rid of the fraud and the waste. I'd have saved enough money so that the post office could run at a profit. So there.
Why don't you take over the post office? Why don't you, if you know all this stuff, why don't you volunteer and say, hey, I'm going to save the post office?
I might just do that.
Because you just think it's so simple.
But not under the current administration.
Why?
Because they're going to use all the money
what does it matter?
For this pseudo healthcare program that they have.
Well, I agree. I mean, the bill is not perfect. I like to see some other things in there. Hopefully, it will get in there.
What would you like to see that's not in there?
I just said a government option. I want a government option in that bill. I really, really, really want to see that. I think it's time. We need that as a country. Not so much a single payer, but I definitely want to see an option.
Well, this is the first time I ever heard of citizens being told that if they don't buy health insurance, they're going to pay a penalty.
What do you mean? We have that here in Massachusetts.
It doesn't work the way that they explained it at the federal level.
Yeah, no. It works
here. It doesn't work that way.
Everything's fine, okay? And no, you do, because some people don't know what's in their own best interest. We see it all the time when they vote Republican. So
some people don't know.
Everybody needs to have health coverage. Individuals need to be covered, because in the end, every American pays that cost if they're not covered. And I don't care how old or young you are, because disease can strike anybody at any age. Okay? And just because you're 25, that doesn't mean that you cannot get cancer tomorrow. And now you don't have health coverage. And guess who's going to pay that bill? All of us. So that's why we have to have everyone. So yes, it needs to be mandated that everybody has health care insurance, because people can be frivolous.
It needs to be mandated, but
too bad.
You don't put a penalty on somebody and say, look, if you don't buy insurance, you're going to pay a fine.
Well, you have to, because if not, how are you going to get people to purchase it? You have to have something in place, because they won't do it if you don't give them that penalty.
You very simply make the premium totally deductible on your income tax. Just make it totally deductible.
Take what deductible?
The premium for your medical care, so it doesn't cost you anything. If you went to every American and said, look, buy the best health care you can find for your situation, and it's totally deductible from your income tax, not 7.5% or greater.
Don't be misleading here. Where you say it's deductible, it's not going to cost you anything.
No, I say you take it right off your income. The amount of income. Let's say it costs you $2,000 a year for medical premiums. You treat that as if you made $2,000 less that year.
It's a discount.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's a discount.
It's all right.
Well, discount or penalty, what's the big difference? It's the same. I mean,
no.
it is the same. It's a discount or a penalty, however you want to say it. I guess the discount sounds a little more nicer.
It's not the same to me.
But
it's not the same. I think you have to treat people like people. I think you were the one that said, let's be more humane. So you're humane and say, if you don't buy medical coverage, humanity or whatever. If you don't buy medical coverage, you're going to get a penalty of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't buy that. I said, deduct everything from your income tax.
Nope, because you can't reduce costs that way. You reduce costs by having the mandate requiring people to purchase health care insurance, because then when they do need it, they're not, again, putting the cost on us. Okay?
I would have done this much easier by just cleaning up the current medical system. That's all I have to say.
All right, well, we're never going to agree on this one, that's for sure.
I don't